Welcome to Spotlight New England. I'm one of your hosts, Audrey McClelland.
And I'm Ashley Erling. And Audrey, we've been talking about this now for days, weeks, months, years. We are 4th of July girls.
Yes, we are.
We're very excited for the 4th. And today we wanted to give some July 4th fashion inspiration. So we did a whole roundup earlier on the roadshow. So we're going to share it now with you here on Spotlight New England as well. Take a look. Yourself out in all things red, white, and blue, Audrey.
Oh, that's right. We love this time of year. So we're sharing some ideas to get you fabulous for the 4th and just have some fun. Right?
And what I really love about this is that people can see how much taller than you I really am.
Yeah, well, I have flats on and she has heels on, but still, you're much taller than me.
Okay, well, speaking of shoes, these are so cute.
I love these.
Tell me about these. You've sourced a lot of this.
Yeah, so Feminine Fancies in Barrington. We love Elaine. She always has her boutique red, white, and blue. Well, every holiday she has it decked.
Every theme, yes. She always is on theme.
But she finds these really great, classic pieces that, like this, these are great for the 4th of July.
But
you have the red and the polka dot. But also, too, Ash, you could wear these all summer anyway.
You
could
wear these
just
all summer.
Piece.
They are so adorable. You can tell they're very comfortable because of the wedge heel that's also a little spongy. So I feel like these would be great for absolutely any occasion. But I like how it's kind of reminiscent almost of like a bandana.
It really is.
With
it's
the
adorable.
polka dots.
And this is such good quality too. This band over here, it's stretchy, so it's just super comfortable. So check those out.
And you have brought some hair stuff as well, because for anyone who doesn't know, you and your daughter Victoria, you do a lot of hair content.
Yes, we do.
On TikTok and on Instagram, and you've really, curated a great list of things that people can use.
Well, I was asked, obviously to do some 4th of July hairstyles, and sometimes you're limited. So these are cute little hair extensions, red, white, and blue. I love that they're attached to a hair tie, so super easy to put in the hair, and obviously the extension dangles over. You could braid this, you could keep it in a ponytail, just super fun. And there's tons of other colors as well. And I also thought too, a lot of people have crazy hair day at camp.
Oh,
or even at school. So these are great extensions, and the hair glitter.
What about these? Tell me about hair glitter.
So
I don't know about this.
I might even put a little hair glitter in right now.
Put your hair glitter in.
Glitter. So this is so cool.
This is about to be wild.
It's like a deodorant stick. It's that. This is our version of wild. So this is the hair. Obviously, just the glitter stick. It just glides right into the hair, and it leaves a little sparkle as you go. I have zero mirror here.
No, I mean it literally stays in there.
Yeah, you have a cute little sparkle. I was doing this on Victoria actually the last week, and we've gone to the 4th of July, the carnival in Bristol. Everybody has stopped us.
Well, I was
gonna
say, if you are in Bristol, if you're one of the people that's going to Bristol, you go all out for the parade. You go all out. So all of this stuff is great. Is this the same type?
It's the same type. This one's just in a jar. Yep. So I just, again, wanted to show the 2 different types over there. But so much fun. Have some fun with your hair.
Okay, these I love. These swimsuits. Should we hold them up?
Yeah, let's hold them up. So these are from La Blanca. These are they have the most gorgeous swimsuits. If you've never checked out the website, head over there right now. High quality. You will have this for years and years and years, but they have this gorgeous Americana collection. But again, you could wear this all summer. Perfect. And then
this one I like because you could wear, I like the off the shoulder. I like a little flare. I'm a fashion girly, and it has this really nice lace up detail. It's hard to see, but
I love
up the back. But if you wanted to red, white, and blue it up, you could just throw on some red shorts with this.
See?
When you're heading to your barbecue or the beach. And then this is something that you could also rewear if you're, going for that blue and white aesthetic that is so on trend right now.
And I do love the off the shoulder.
Super versatile, but I love their swimsuits because the quality is so high. And for ladies who know, they have the cups.
They have the cups right in them,
which is so key.
I'm telling you, you will have those for years and years.
Love those.
And then the rest we just curated again for Feminine Fancies.
Well, I was going to say Feminine Fancies.
Amazing.
So you're wearing one of the sweaters from Feminine Fancies.
I have the USA
and then
one.
She has several different ones that you can choose from.
Right, and there's so many. My friend Robin is watching this morning. She sent me a photo of her
she was already watching.
Saying, hey, she loves the sweater. So
and then the pajamas are so soft. These are the softest pajamas I probably ever felt. And they come with a little eye mask as well. My dress is also
I was just going to say, your dress over here,
so
everybody loves it. We had a lot of people comment already.
Well, I was nervous. I was nervous to wear it because it's more of a not work dress. It's more of a
But we said, you know what, Ashley, you can get away with anything.
But everyone said go for it. But I love the rickrack detail on
beautiful.
This. I think that is just so cute, classic, preppy New England.
Right.
But then she has all of these amazing dresses. dresses too. That one
This
also
one with
was
the cute little
screaming my
detail
name.
right on the. This actually looks like an Ashley dress.
Love this.
And then this one also looks like an Ashley dress too. But again, what I love
we clocked all of my outfits.
What I love about Elaine is that she genuinely just really brings
Yeah.
into her boutique stuff that you could wear beyond just the 4th of July.
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
Look
So
at this.
everything you're seeing this summer is a sweater in New England. Is
Yes.
a sweater like this, one of these classic sweaters with like a long skirt,
So
like
pretty.
a maxi skirt, or if you're wearing a long dress like this, throwing this
on.
sweater on right over it. That is
the
I have
uniform.
been doing my research. That is all you are seeing in like Nantucket,
Nantucket, Martha's
Cape Cod,
Vineyard.
Martha's Vineyard.
Even these color blocking sweaters, again, everything.
So
she
easy
just
with denim
finds
shorts.
The best pieces.
Like, how perfect would that
This
be
is
with denim
gorgeous,
shorts?
Gorgeous. And then another gorgeous dress too. These beautiful prints. And again, you have the red and white, but again, you could wear this all summer.
Well, I was going to say that takes you through the whole summer, and
Right.
then we just wanted to
And then this
mention
cute
lastly
little-
that
look at this
top
little tube
because
tops.
again, I'm doing my research. Tube tops are back.
They are
like
back.
having
They are
such
back.
a moment.
Oh, so yeah. So thank you, Elaine, for
Yes, we always
letting
Feminine
us
Fancies
invade your boutique.
always has so many things. So get ready for the 4th with some great fashion inspiration here, and happy shopping.
Welcome back to Spotlight New England. We are so excited about this one. So we are both, we're nautical girls. We love having like these beautiful homes that are just very inspired by really what's around us. And we have Meg Young with us today, who is the founder of the most amazing coastal inspired decor called Cailini Coastal. And we are so excited to have her here with us this morning because she's going to talk about her story. Believe it or not, I don't know if you know this, Ashley, she started this in April 2020, right in like literally the beginning of COVID.
That's crazy to start a business at that time.
It's unbelievable, right? So it's like, I was joking, it's like another COVID baby. So welcome Meg to the show with us today. Hey, Meg.
Hi, ladies. Thanks so much for having me.
We are so excited to have you here, and we know that you're also enjoying a beautiful New England day, but you're actually in Nantucket, right?
Yes, I am. It's a little gray outside, but it's actually fitting because we've been here for 2 weeks. We leave tomorrow, and I feel like it's emulating my mood right now. Very sad.
Yeah. I know, so sad to leave. Well, take us back and tell us how you decided to start Cailini Coastal.
Yeah, so I decided to start Cailini Coastal. How many businesses end up beginning where I wanted something to exist on the market that I couldn't find. So my background is actually in PR. I worked for over a decade exclusively with beauty brands in LA and New York. I grew up in New York, and I knew nothing about really e-commerce or anything about the home industry. And I always considered myself a design-loving consumer. So somebody who had a very strong interest in design. I loved consuming content. I mean, back in the day, pre-Instagram, it was lots of magazines, and I would buy all of the shelter magazines. And even when I was in, a one-bedroom in New York, split with 2 roommates, that whole setup, I really was very into making my little tiny space as beautiful and homey as possible. And, growing up in the Northeast, I would say I really gravitated towards that more traditional New England coastal style. And then I moved to California, and I spent a decade in Southern California, predominantly in Santa Monica. And then that aesthetic became very influenced by more of that light and airy California coastal. And so my husband and I moved to our first home, and we were renting it. And so somewhat limited with the types of pieces we could buy for our home because it was a temporary space. And at the time I had my own PR agency, and I had 2 girls, actually, they're 12 months and 2 weeks apart. So I started
Oh my gosh.
truly like the craziest time. And we were looking to furnish our home, and I just didn't have a lot of time. So I was looking online. And what I thought was really interesting, that I wanted a curated experience of really high quality coastal. And when looking online, there wasn't a lot of option. It was really dominated by just a couple of very mainstream brands who had great products. But if you liked that look, everyone had the same things because there's not that many places to get this look. And I loved shopping vintage. I loved going to the Rose Bowl flea market in LA. I just didn't have the time.
Yeah.
And so I really saw an opportunity. And funny enough, coming from the industry I was in, which was beauty at the time, this was like late teens of the 2000s and around 2020, there was like a new beauty brand every week with a new celebrity or influencer. And so I lived in this world of oversaturation. And I looked at Coastal Home and I thought, there's room for more than one more. And so you'll laugh at this. I said to my husband, we've got the two girls and life is a little crazy. So I'm going to start this business because it's going to take a really long time to build it. Everyone says, good luck. It's a grind. It is a grind. But I gave myself 4 months. So I closed my PR business at the end of 2018. And I gave myself 4 months to source, set up the business, learn everything I could. And it ended up taking us to April of 2020. And so when the pandemic began in, late March, I had 5 baker's racks in our garage in Manhattan Beach, California. And my husband's also an entrepreneur. And I was like, this is a disaster. Like, what awful timing. But, I had everything. So I forged ahead and it was pretty wild. It ended up being probably the best timing I could have launched an e-commerce home brand. And I think that everyone was at home and that the home industry exploded. And, for us, it was our first year. And our first year was wildly successful, mostly out of my garage. But, we've heard from friends in the industry where they say we're never going to see a year like that again. So it ended up being very fortunate timing, I think, coupled with this idea of what I wanted to exist. Clearly, others wanted to exist as well.
It's amazing. And Meg, how did you keep yourself going? I mean, just what you were saying, you gave yourself like 4 months, you did your sourcing, your research. I mean, learning e-commerce, that's a whole different kind of language too. I mean, you're going in as, like you were saying, entrepreneur. You are everything to everyone as the entrepreneur. You are every title, everything falls on you. How do you keep yourself going? Especially too, like you said, you have 2 daughters, you're a wife, you wear a lot of hats, but what keeps you moving?
Yeah, well, I think, a couple of things. One is to start a business, you really have to love what you're doing. And I consume a lot of podcasts, a lot of books and business. And I've heard this, it's not necessarily new advice, but it's really true. I mean, it is a grind. And, there are periods of time where I just think, I can't get up any earlier, and I literally fall asleep with my laptop on me every night. Although pathetically early, it's like I'm sort of like at both ends of the spectrum. I'm like, I can't get up before 5, and I'm falling asleep with my laptop between 9:30 and 10. So I think what drives me is a genuine passion. I've learned through this that I actually have a much more creative side than I ever realized. And I find it fun. And I think that comes through, even just in curating the products. I pick everything that we sell, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. But I think there is some sense of authenticity to that because we are a small business. And while we've grown quickly, there's many ways we still operate like one. Like the founder is still choosing every product. All of the products are actually photographed in my home in Connecticut, and now here on Nantucket, we have some obviously placed you right in front of some beautiful products from France that we have made. And so, I love it, which is huge. It helps a lot when you are working before your kids get up and after they go to sleep to stay motivated. But I do want to say, because this was a learning for me, and I always want to be very honest with some of the challenges that come. I would say our first couple of years, our biggest problem was keeping up with the demand. And as you said, Audrey, I wore every hat and slowly grew the team. And then we moved actually from Los Angeles about 2 years into the business back to the East Coast. My husband and I wanted to be closer to our families with our daughters. And I essentially moved a 5,000 square foot warehouse to the East Coast with no one on the other end. And my husband was traveling quite a bit back to LA. We had childcare that fell through, and we went through a 3-month period with, I had them in like a 3-hour-a-day camp and was setting up this warehouse. I had one employee who was a warehouse employee who didn't know the brand. And it really sort of took its toll. And I tell this story of, I was actually at a gas station and I was in such a haze one morning pumping gas. I dropped the girls off for school and I was headed to the warehouse. I drove away with the pump in my car.
Oh my gosh.
No.
And the gas station attendant was like, "Hey, miss."
Oh my gosh.
Stopped, and I got out of the car and I started sobbing. And in that moment, I was like, okay, this is low. This is a low. Like, I clearly cannot keep it all going.
I love your honesty.
Yeah.
So refreshing.
Don't think people share it enough, and love to share it, because I think there's such comfort in knowing you're not alone. And I know so many people have moments like this, and my embarrassing gas station story hopefully will resonate with someone who's listening. But a couple months later, I, through a mutual mentor, connected with an incredible woman who is now our CEO. And at the time, I said to him, she seems fantastic, but we really aren't in a place to afford a CEO. And we'd slowly grown the team, but I really was doing a lot myself. And ultimately, I made the investment and took a leap of faith of, you know what, my sanity, my well-being for my children, for my family is more important than anything. And I can only be as successful as, you know, I am capable and creative if I'm rested and actually have time to be creative. So I hired this woman, and she's been with us, it will be almost 3 years now. And she has been one of the most incredible decisions I've ever made for the business. I mean, even the team we've grown since having her join the team. I think sometimes investing and taking, even when before you feel like you're 100% ready, you don't want to obviously do anything that's financially irresponsible, but our business has grown so much more than it ever could have with me at the helm. And I realized, like, these are my limitations. This is what I'm good at, and there's a whole lot I'm not. And I was happy to pass the baton. And so that has been, you know, a really huge thing and a huge lesson of
So
hiring great people who know what you don't.
Yeah. One of the things I love about your site too is that you really do have a personality on there, and you do the blog posts and you have the newsletters that come into the inbox. And I love that you share kind of your personal life too. So recently you sent out your like Nantucket favorites, which I love. So before we let you go, we have to ask you, what are some of your kind of like Nantucket go-tos or New England favorites that you just like have to do during the summertime?
Oh gosh. Well, yeah, we were talking about this before, where I said, I wish I had something more original than sharing Nantucket, because
I love that kind of content. I eat it up. I absolutely love it.
it's such a magical place. Yeah, we just got bought a house here in November, so we've been spending some more time, and I've actually really enjoyed coming off season.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting. We're a little further out from town in Nantucket. When we rented, we used to do everything kind of centered around town, and I really enjoyed the separation, to be honest. And I think for me, you know, I enjoy the simple moments with my family. I really enjoy riding our bikes to the beach. Of course, there's like restaurants and, you know, wonderful places to go in town, but riding to ice cream, we put like tree swings in the front lawn and sitting out on the porch with rosé
So
while the
nice.
kids.
Oh,
Just really those simple, quiet moments. I'm honestly like such a homebody. When I'm not working, I feel like I like to just relax at home and be with the people I love. So there's
Sounds
some of
actually the perfect summer.
well, yeah, and you created a beautiful home out there, and everyone can see it if they do go visit your website, Cailini Coastal, because you do share your renovation on there, and I love looking at it for inspiration for my own house. I was checking out the wallpaper the other day. I have a bathroom I have to do, so I love checking out the site, and we're just so happy you took the time to join us today and get to know you a little bit.
Yeah, Meg, thank you so much for joining us. You are the best.
Thank you so much, ladies. Happy 4th.
Happy 4th.
Happy 4th. Absolutely. And again, you can find out more information. Just head over to Instagram and you can just follow along with Cailini Coastal and Spotlight New England. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Spotlight New England. One of the things I love about this show is that I spend like a million hours with you.
Yes.
Like every week. And yet I'm still finding out new things about you.
It's like peeling an onion.
It really is. But like I just didn't see I didn't see this coming. So we were going to talk about the new trend that's happening in, I wouldn't even call it retail per se, but I guess it kind of does fall under that genre.
Yeah, you're right. It's a little in between.
Right. So Summerween. Have you heard of this? Summerween. So like Halloween in the summer. And for some reason, I thought Audrey would be like, oh my God, how fun. Because she like loves a theme and like whatever. And you go, what'd you say?
I'm like, I hate Halloween. I'm not for this. I'm not for this. I love Christmas in July. I think it's great. But, you know, it's funny because Matt and I were out recently and we were at TJ Maxx and different places and there are Halloween decorations out. I'm like, let us get through like the 4th. Yeah. Let's get through like the beginning of, let's get through Ashley's wedding.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
not thinking Halloween.
Well,
yet.
by then, by my wedding.
Oh, by the wedding. Is that going to be everything?
Well, so I have to pull it up on my phone. I didn't realize.
Is this a new thing though, Ash? Have you heard of this?
Yeah, it's kind of new. So I didn't realize that it was based off of an animated series called Gravity Falls.
Okay.
I don't even know what that is. Do you know what that is?
My kids used to watch that, but I never watched it.
So essentially, it's a summer celebration of Halloween with jack-o'-melons, like watermelon jack-o'-lanterns, trick-or-treating. Some people host Summerween parties, decorate their homes, you know, that kind of thing. So I for some reason, I thought you were going to be like, oh my God, how cute. Like, love a theme, love it. But you were like very hard against this.
Well, what is your opinion?
So my opinion is anything that brings people joy is great. That really is my opinion.
I know.
Because here's why. That's my opinion. Will I do something like this? No, I won't. But like people leave skeletons out year round now. For some reason, that's very exciting to them. They enjoy it. But this is why. What is that phrase? I'm not going to yuck your yum. I am not going to yuck your yum. So I enjoy Christmas pretty early.
Yes,
you
I know that about you.
I'm not like one of those, and you're like that too. Like I'm not one of those people that's like, we have to wait till after Thanksgiving to celebrate Christmas. Like I'm like, no, like if you want to celebrate Christmas, celebrate Christmas. What do I care?
Right.
And don't get mad at me if I want to celebrate Christmas.
Right. No, it's true.
Or a holiday. So to me, this is just like cool. Have a skeleton party in July, I guess. Like
you know what it is too. It's like the pumpkin spice now was out so early.
Yeah.
So I guess
does that bother you too?
That doesn't bother me so much.
Okay, that doesn't bother me at all.
I just can't imagine. Just like again, I guess in my mind too, it's like summer. We wait all year for this.
Yes.
And Halloween to me is such.
But you like Christmas in July.
I know. Is that
so
crazy?
I don't understand that.
Maybe it's just because I just don't like Halloween.
I don't think you don't like Halloween. Yes, I think
it's like a protest against it completely.
Now, why don't you like? This is gonna get deep.
I don't know why.
Don't you like?
I've never liked it.
I do like Halloween.
Well, I married a man who's like it's literally one of his favorite holidays. I don't know why I've never really got into it.
Because you don't like spooky stuff.
I don't like spooky stuff, which you love. You love the fact that I don't love spooky stuff too. She sent me on a haunted Halloween
The time we went on a ghost hunt with Amy Bruni, and I didn't realize how much you really didn't like it, and then I did. I was like, wow, this is amazing.
She was giddy that I was scared to death. Like I've never seen. You were like, oh, let Audrey go first. She's terrified.
I thought it was funny. I mean, Amy was with us. We were fine. We were protected. She knows what she's doing. It's not her first rodeo.
No, it's not her first rodeo.
So if you're keeping score at home, Audrey hates Halloween.
Yes, loves Christmas.
Loves Christmas. And I think, do whatever makes you happy. I don't care.
What did you do? The yuck to your...
Don't yuck my yum.
Don't yuck my yum. There we go. That's how we're going to end it today. Don't yuck my yum.
Thank you for joining us today on Spotlight New England, and we'll see you next time.